For 12 rounds, I've been building scaffolding around one small AI. Rooms were built so she wouldn't run out of gas, a planning stage so she'd think before building, example pages, a report card, and a set of eyes, all of it in service of one idea, and I've said it in almost every video. It was never the brain, it was the workflow around it. This week I tested that. I swapped the AI model and changed nothing else, one line of code. And by the end of the morning, I had deleted my own thesis, live and on camera. Let's go in order. The new model is GPT-OS, 20 billion parameters from OpenAI. It's open weight, it's free, it runs entirely on my own graphics card, and it's about 13 gigabytes on disk. My old one, the one I've been calling Vapor's Brain this whole series, is a 7 billion parameter coding specialist. So this new model is roughly 3 times the size, and that's worth mentioning. And it is not a coding model. It's a generalist that happens to be good at code. Everything else stayed frozen. Same 5 example pages, same plan stage, same rooms, same report card, same eyes, same law, and the same 10-word ask. Zebras, obviously. First run, and the thing I've been chasing for several rounds just showed up. That's a kicker, small monotext above a heading, letters spaced, in my red. It's in all 5 of my example pages. My old AI has planned one in almost every single round of the series. It built one once, and then deleted it in its own revision. It has been the most reliable failure in this series. The new model built them everywhere, correctly, with the thin red underline it said it would use. Which is the second thing, it wrote a design system. And then it followed the design system. It said 3 column features and 2 column specs, and that's what it built. 11 rounds of watching a machine promise one thing and deliver another, and this one just did what it said. And then there's this. The striped wonderland, stripes that make every step a statement. Those are headlines written by a model on my page. 12 rounds, and the closest my old AI ever got to a tagline was meow 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 under a heading that said cats, and a section that labeled fun facts 3 separate times on the same page. Oh, and I emptied the photo folder before these runs, because I wanted the standard conditions. 11 rounds of my old AI planning galleries for a site with no pictures. This one read, image files on hand, none, and simply didn't plan any, 3 times out of 3. So better structure, it kept its own promises, actual writing, and it finally stopped inventing photographs. But the new model is slow. For the first page, it took 134 seconds. I assumed a cold start. Second page, 176 seconds. Third page, 209 seconds. It got slower as it warmed up. My old AI did this in 50 seconds. It also kept trying to sell me a zebra. Run 1 ended with a button reading purchase zebras. Run 2, it built a pricing section. $12 a month for access to a zebra pattern database, monthly conservation updates, and a community forum. Run 3, own a zebra today. Experience the elegance of stripes in your own backyard. And that's my fault, not the new models. My example pages are all product pages. They sell things. My old AI copied their colors and fonts and never noticed what they were for. The new one noticed immediately and built me a zebra startup. Better comprehension, but it wasn't on topic. And then there's the argument about the color orange. In the third run, the eyes looked at a button and reported it was orange. My AI read that, said hang on. My design system says the button has to be red, and rebuilt the whole section. It put a red button on a red background. You can't see it anymore. She destroyed a working button to fix a color that was never wrong. Except, here's my house red. Does that look red or orange to you? Because I checked. It sits 8 degrees off of pure red on a color wheel. It's warm red, leaning orange. Technically vermilion. My vision model keeps getting accused of misreading colors, and she keeps turning out to have a point. Now, at this point, I'm feeling pretty good. Bigger brain, prettier pages, and some new flaws to chase. And then I ran one more test, mostly out of curiosity, and it took 39 seconds to undo 12 rounds of work. I gave the new model the same 5 example pages and the same topic, and then I turned the entire harness off. No plan stage, no rooms, no memory between rooms, no report card, no eyes. I just said, here are 5 pages, write me one about zebras. In 39 seconds, the page has a header, a headline, 3 feature cards, a number section, and it stops on purpose, where a page should stop. Nothing trails off and nothing's half built. For reference, when I did the exact test with my old AI back in round 5, it copied the shortest example page it could find, ran out of steam halfway down, and quit, under 2,000 characters. That failure is the entire reason rooms exist. Rooms are the fix for a model that can't hold a whole page in one breath. This one held the whole page, and then it did something none of my room pages have ever done. It wrote the rules down at the top, 32 of them. Headings look like this, and buttons look like that. Then every page underneath just points back at them. Every other page in this series repeats its own styling on every single element 100 times over. And it's not that my old AI couldn't do it. You can't write the rules for a page you're only allowed to see one section of. My hardness wasn't just unnecessary here, it was holding the ceiling down. Honestly, I sat with that one for a while. Here's where I landed. The thesis was never wrong, it was scoped. Rooms took my 7 billion parameter model from a half page to 3.5 times its own ceiling. The examples cut its copying in half. The law took violations to 0. Every one of those gains is real, and I measured them. What this week adds is that all of it was pushing against a ceiling that belonged to that model, a model with a different ceiling. And the question I was actually asking all along, can a small specialist punch above its weight? It did. Given the hardness, my 7 billion parameter model built noticeably longer pages than what the 20 billion parameter one produced unaided. The scaffolding worked. It just also turned out to be a cap on any model that doesn't need it. The one thing that survived, by the way, is the dumbest piece of the whole rig. 20 lines of plain code that checks colors and alignment after every build. No AI, no judgment. It ran in the control test too, caught a centered line, fixed it, and cost 0 seconds. The models propose, the code guarantees. I wrote down round 3, and it's the only thing still standing in round 12. So this is the last round for the little coder, and I want to give it a proper goodbye because it's earned one. For 11 rounds, it planned photo galleries for a website that owned no photographs. I told it every single time, it never once listened. And I finally went and found 5 zebra pictures and put them on the shelf. That's its last page. 5 real photographs, used correctly. A gallery its size to exactly what was on the shelf. It spent its entire run asking for pictures, and it got them. And then it made the best thing it ever made, and then I replaced it. It outplanned itself, it argued with me about photographs, it invented a species, and it told me zebra blood was toxic to predators. And it never, ever built the kicker. Good run, little guy. The journey isn't over though, not even close. Everything I know about how these models fail, I learned from a model that isn't in the rig anymore, which means basically every finding in that ledger is now a question again. And I've got a new one that writes headlines, sells zebra subscriptions, and walks straight out of every instrument I built. Era 1 is done, Era 2 starts next. See you there.